Yes, sir. The Leafs are in the playoffs. The Leafs win 3-2 over the Florida Panthers, and the Leafs put a huge statement on those Florida frauds. Thank you, Lord. Because the last two games where the Leafs played against those Florida Panthers, Leafs lost those two games. The first one was back in November where the Leafs just got absolutely killed by Florida 5-1. And then, of course, Leafs lose 3-2 in that one important game to the same old Panthers. And now coming here to Florida against the Panthers in Toronto is a huge win, especially in the Atlantic Division, where the Leafs hold a cushion on the Panthers. Before they beat them, we were 3 up on them. And the Panthers coming into tonight, they came in from Montreal after they lost 3-2 in overtime to the Habs, which, again, we didn't expect that, but oh well. You come in tonight and you take that. Excuse me. You take down the defending champions, and what a win for the Toronto Maple Leafs! It was a huge statement game to take down those frauds. The Leafs put a statement. They made a statement over those Florida frauds that that first place in the Atlantic Division runs in Toronto's favor, and I know the Florida Panthers are not going to do jack to steal first place in the damn division. And now coming here to Toronto, you expect the best to play against you have Sergei Bobrovsky, Brad Marchand, who just got traded from Boston. Yeah, I don't know why Don Sweeney was stupid to trade this guy. I don't know why. And you get Seth Jones, whom in this case might not be good. His contract sucked, and yeah, you just got scrutinized. But you got Vanacek. Oh wait, Vanacek. Really? Vincent Vanacek? That's not enough. But you got Matthew Tkachuk, who's out. Alexander Barkov, out. And Eklund, or whoever his name is, gets suspended for doing some illegal stuff. So now you got to take down the Florida Panthers. At least did just that. First period of the game, well, it was a bit of back and forth. Leafs had their chances, especially on the power play, but just couldn't solve Sergei Bobrovsky. We had some scoring chances, just can't do any. It's a good solid first period. Okay, everything fine, we couldn't get the power play. Oh, Chris Tanev gets called for high stick, and Brad Marchand just dies like a diva. And the Leafs go on that penalty kill. That's not how I want to end the first period, with a penalty kill. But hey, at least it's not at 0. And of course, everything going well. Leafs killed off the penalty that was monitored by Chris Tanev for high stick. And Gustav Forsling scores. It's 1-0 to Florida after the power play has ended for Florida. Great. Not how I want to start the second period. Really. And, well, after that, Leafs had to respond back with 2 goals with that 1 goal by John Tavares, ripped by William Nylander, and the Leafs have tied the game up at 1. And it's a tie 1-1 game. Yeah, there's not a lot that I can think about, because that was kind of a bit of a mishap from the Leafs. Just got to get your shit together. But then in the third period, that's when everything clicked, because guess who scores? It was none other than Mitch Marner, and the Leafs take the lead. Despite Bobby McMahon going for the goal, which he didn't get because Sergei Bobrovsky stopped McMahon. But hey, at least you got Marner scoring, so that's a good thing. And Matthew Knies on the breakaway, and he scores. It's 3-1 Leafs. And Jake McCabe just interfered with the referee. And Stoley just almost pushed his goalie, which could have been a penalty. Could have been worse. But thank God there's no penalty on the Leafs, because if that goal was disallowed for that stupid penalty, we would have been out for the count. And everything was going well. We're up 3-1. And Pontus Holmberg takes a penalty for tripping. And yeah, great dive, Lundell. And Sam Reinhart scores. It's 3-2 Leafs. And the Leafs are up 3-1 in that game. I swear, this is against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers just want to keep skating by. They want to get away with everything. Just want to get away with every call. Just want to have the refs back crying to the refs in every situation, and the Panthers get one back. It's 3-2 Leafs. And I'm praying. I swear, if the Panthers make the Leafs blow a 3-1 lead, it's going to be pretty bad, especially in a must-win game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, whom in this case are first place in the division. We have to get something. Well, the Leafs managed to stop every damage. We were able to stop the puck. We were able to kill off something. We were able to do just that. We just cleared the puck. Sure, there was icing, but we still got the win, and that's how it ends. And Stoley, the goalie, was there to save the day, especially when we needed the most. After a Jake McCabe turnover in the third period before the dying minutes of the game, led to a turnover from Florida, and Florida got robbed by Stoley, the goalie, who is my MVP. Stoley, the goalie, MVP, right there. Anthony Stolarz, MVP. And yeah, I know there's going to be people out there saying, well, you just beat the Florida Panthers because Matthew Tkachuk was injured. You just got literally everything. The refs were calling the refs were favoring the Leafs. You basically barely won over us because Matthew Tkachuk was injured, Alexander Barkov was injured, and Aaron Eklund was injured. Womp womp. I don't care because the Leafs just want to win, and we want to put a statement on those Florida frauds. Because the Panthers, they may be a good team, but they're the biggest fraud team I can think of in NHL history. Because every time when the Florida Panthers, of course, every time when I think about the Panthers, every time when they keep winning games, it just makes me so infuriated. They keep skating by like it's nothing. They get the refs, they cry to the refs every time, and they just keep getting away with everything. Especially when things go their way, and the NHL is not doing a single thing to stopping them. But now the Panthers have lost 3 straight games to the Habs twice, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's a 3-game losing streak for the Florida Panthers. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, hockey gods. Finally, the hockey gods are doing a favor to give the Florida Panthers a downfall, a slap back to reality, and everything, in the words of Emperor Palpatine, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. And the Leafs did just that, and they take down those Florida frauds. Let's go. Leafs may have not gotten a power play goal, but they still managed to get the job done. And the Leafs have 3 points up on Tampa and 5 points up on those Florida frauds. First place in the Atlantic Division, and the Leafs clinch their spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs, in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's go. But the job is not done yet. There's still a lot more work to do. Leafs have to clinch the Atlantic Division. They have to clinch that title, Atlantic Division title, which the last time they clinched a title like that in the division, it was in 2021 where the Leafs clinched the North Division title. I mean, that was something. 2021 was the Leafs' year, damn it. It's supposed to be the Leafs' year to win the Stanley Cup. But the Habs just came back and make the Leafs blow a 3-1 series lead. I know there was a past time where, of course, somewhere in the 60s, in the 1990-2000 season or so, Leafs got that division win. They were the kings of the division, regardless of losing to New Jersey in the 2000s. But you know what? The Leafs got the win they deserve, and I'm happy the Leafs got the win. But there's a lot more work to do. Regardless, Leafs still clinched the playoff spot. That's good, but we need more. All I want to return is the Atlantic Division title. All I want to return is the Leafs to win playoff series games. Like, I want the Leafs to win the first round, win those 4 games in the first round, 4 games in the second round, 4 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. If the Leafs do make the Eastern Conference Finals, which I hope to God they do, Leafs win those 4 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Leafs make that Stanley Cup Finals. They win those 4 games in that series, in that Stanley Cup Final Series, and the Leafs win that Stanley Cup. Yes, I know I'm going to say that because I know my team, because I want my team to win the Stanley Cup. I know I said it in the preseason, yes, but that was only before the season started. Just getting my little hopes up, But just because I get my hopes up, just because I'm optimistic with my Toronto Maple Leafs, it doesn't mean anything's going to happen. So let's keep winning. Let's get those wins, and let's do something in the playoffs where we don't do some dumb stuff or get heartbroken or or fall up or come up short, because coming up short is not acceptable, and it just hurts. And I hope to God I don't actually just hope to God that the Panthers just find a way to go down, because the Florida Panthers don't deserve to be Stanley Cup champions. They should be going on a downfall, and thank God the Panthers are going on a downfall. Good riddance, Florida. So the next game, Saturday night, you have those 2 nights off. You take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And thank God Dennis Hildeby is still in the AHL and not in the NHL. I mean, what would happen if Dennis Hildeby was in net for Columbus? He would just get lit up like a Christmas ornament either way. But, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. We just got to win against Columbus, because Columbus just makes me sick. And we got destroyed by the Jackets twice. 6-2 in October and 5-1 in January of this year. So, win's a win. Let's get that win against Columbus. Let's make it 4 straight wins in a row. Let's go, Leafs. Yeah!